What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. I don't remember where we left off. I think I had the Evo all apart, so we ended up having a bunch of people over here yesterday for a little kid's birthday party. They were down at the water fishing and stuff, and a couple of buddies rode out and gave me a quick hand, just kind of chasing down some of the stuff on here. Didn't have the camera going or anything like that, but taillights are fixed and working. I'll walk you through roughly what I did on all of that. We got our headlight back. We got our brake light, or tail light. And you give it the old front tap and we have brake lights. Same thing on the rear, even though the master cylinder is shot. We get a little bit of light up before you can listen to it. I don't know. I'm wearing a mic, so I don't know if you'll hear it, but all sorts of fluid leaking on the inside of this. The master's shot. So I got a brand new master coming and a rebuild kit coming. Odds are, I talked to him about it, he wants to just throw a new one on. He doesn't want the old parts, so I'll take that off. And maybe I can incorporate that master on this setup. Not positive if that's what we're gonna do. Basically take a newer Evo Sporty rear master and use that for our rear master over here. It'll at least give me another new one. We can run this too. I'm not sure how we're gonna lay out all the brakes on this. This is what we gotta work on when we get back to getting on that XLCH. But I can't work on that until this is done and out of here and the Super Glide over there is done. I'm forcing myself to get these two out of here because these are closer to road ready. I need to have this done and running by the Chopper Barn party in July. So I have a little bit more time and a little bit more leeway on this bike. And realistically, everything else that needs to get done on this is a little bit more time consuming, fab wise and everything else. And then you add in trying to turn the camera on for you guys to come along for the ride. And it is a mess. I managed to get all of the brakes and all of the stuff figured out on that bike in within an hour of fiddling around with it without the camera on. Whereas otherwise it turns into a whole little process where I'm trying to explain and think out loud. And not that I put a lot of planning and effort into any of these videos, but it definitely does take a lot more time. But here is where we are on this. This is running, riding. The seat is bolted back on again. I wish I could show you that stupid aluminum weird fuse deal. I got rid of that completely. It was just run to ground, so I don't know what it was in there for. I don't know what it was hooked up to. Sporty experts, if you know what the blue with a black stripe are for, I'm guessing it's probably something turn signal related. There is nothing else on here that isn't functioning in terms of hard mechanicals. I don't know if the speedo works. I don't remember checking that, but we have power, lights, horn, all of the other bits. I did find the fuse panel underneath here, which I believe you can actually just pop this whole cover off without pulling this off to get access to the fuses. That makes a little bit more sense. But now, we are just waiting on a master cylinder for this. And so when the new master shows up, we'll bleed that, then this bike is done. So I got rid of that weird aluminum block up here, threw new fuses in here. And then for the brake light, I was still having some issues even after going through it. It wasn't getting enough power. It was like super, super intermittent. I popped the pin or the circlip off of here, pulled the pin, greased up the little piston that goes in on the plunger up here, worked that over a handful of times, and now we have functional working brake lights. And the fact that it lights up when I do the initial, if I go from here to here, I have pressure, but once I push it past that point, you get the little squirty noise from that leaking on the internal. That's what happens if you leave a master opened like this and let it dry out or collect moisture in there. For whatever reason, that master's not sealing. So, pretty much done, just waiting on parts. Oil change is done, primary is done. That bike will be ready to go. After we get that done, I gotta tighten down the mirror and then just kind of quick little bits of cleanup. I don't remember which one, was it this one? Yeah, this one's just kind of loosey-goosey, so we'll snug that down. This one was okay. But other than that, that's pretty much it. We'll throw this back on the charger one more time, put the battery all the way in where it's supposed to be, and that's it. As for the Shovelhead over here, I am waiting on the same parts order for the appropriate circlip for the shifter. One stupid shifter, the E-clip is working, but it's not right. It's caught on one side of this, and honestly, if I hit this with my thumb, it'll probably snap right off. But running, driving, leaks are minimal. I did seal up. This was from, that's not from this bike, this is from my chopper. I had this out yesterday too. We went through and I did off camera, not trying to hide anything, I was working on that one, and then end of the night last night when people were winding down, chatting over at the bar, I got bored and grabbed the silicone, popped this cover off, popped the shifter off, peg off, pulled this, grabbed the gasket, threw its real thin silicone bead around here, and now there is not a drop underneath running down from this upper mid control gasket. So that's good. So we need a circlip on this one, and then the only other bit, there's a gouge on the swing arm here. We're gonna throw a bead of weld right through there. So I'll loosen up these brake hoses, get that way out of the way. We're gonna throw a weld in there, grind that flat. And that should be it on this. No more gouges. think after that, it's ready to go home. It's running good. I do want to take it out for one more shakedown run. It might need a quarter turn on the clutch pressure plates. But we'll do one more ride along with that, see what happens, because it did die on me one time holding it with the clutch in. But that's pretty much where we are at right now. The new blast setup over here is working just fine. Tried the new pressure pot. It uses substantially less sand, so I can fit, I don't remember the numbers on this, 1648 on the Clemco setup down here, 16-inch diameter. This is an 18-inch diameter. The framings are different, everything else is different. I gotta pull these patio furniture bits out and unthread all the broken adjusters at some point and retap those and get that set up as well. But powder's taken forever on that one, special order color, so that'll be a bit. But the blast pot is working great. I have zero complaints about that one other than the fact that I'm just short. I think I got a 50-foot twin line set up. I probably need 55 to run that comfortably, depending on where the compressor is parked. I had it wedged all the way back here. When that lives over on the other side, I'll have more than enough room. And I have a new dead man valve on the way that should be, it's still pneumatic. It's not the electric one that I wanted. It's a pneumatic one. That I didn't mind. I didn't want to spend money on an extra twin line, but I was okay spending money on the valve because I can interchange that. For the mobile setup, eventually that will go all electric. Up here though, I'll still be able to run a 50-foot pneumatic hose through the wall, but I got a kind of ball wrist safety version. So instead of holding the trigger down, I'll show you that when it shows up. It's easier to see it, and it makes perfect sense than it is to try and explain it. So I don't have all that long. Oh, that's what I'm up here for. Customer job for powder. Gotta coat this primary, but unfortunately they dropped it off with seals and bearings and C-clips intact. And I didn't have my snap rings over at the other shop anymore because they're here. So we're gonna pop the bearing out of the primary real quick. We're not doing a whole lot of work today, but pop that out, get that prepped, then I can run this back over to the shop, drop that off, unload some stuff out of the truck, and hope that the barn doesn't blow away because it is crazy windy out here. Major gusts. This is what always happens up here now. We get these crazy warm days. It's like 80-something degrees, but then it's 100-mile-an-hour winds. Absurd. But that's where we're at. Let's get set up over on the bench. I'll grab some snap ring pliers and pop these out. Show you how to take the, I don't know what this is. Twin cam, maybe? I don't think it's newer than that. Maybe it is. I don't know. Looks newer than an Evo to me, but also not sure. We do Shovelheads and older on this channel for the most part, with an occasional Evo Sporty. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let's get set up, pound this bearing out. Hopefully you guys can hear me over the wind blowing through the roof of this place right now. But I will tell you right now, first and foremost, that I am well out of my element here. This is substantially newer than anything that I usually work on. So I don't know what model this is. I don't know anything about it. But we do have a bearing and a snap ring, which doesn't seem that bad. I don't think I need, there's 2 snap rings on this bike actually. I don't think I have to do both because the bearing's only gonna come out one way, but I don't wanna pop one off and start pounding on this without visually looking at it. So here, I'm guessing the bearing will come out this way. Let's take a look at both. It's not that hard to get these out when you actually have tools. So I don't think that's gonna matter. I'm just gonna drive that one out. I think I'm gonna drive it that way because it's a little flatter pounding this down. If you are getting your parts powder coated, do your powder coater a favor and disassemble everything before you come and drop it off. Obviously, that doesn't happen as frequently as I would like, but it's okay. We'll do it for you, it's fine. I don't like doing that. If I can avoid it and just have all my parts dropped off, ready to go, It makes my life easier and takes way less time, and I don't have to charge you as much. I'm not charging $1 million or anything on this, but little bits, you know, like the brass races, I can work around those. We plug everything, we clean everything up, but this bearing area will get plugged. This front bushing for the shifter, I assume, will get plugged. Or brake, shifter. But now this is good, cleared up. We gotta pound this seal out of here, and then I got a grease zerk fitting to yank out. This I can leave in because this all gets taped off anyway. We only coat the mid to outer bits on here. I wonder, just out of curiosity. No, that's not right either. I was trying to see if this fits the newer model stuff, but not even close. My Shovelhead, not Shovelhead gasket that they sent me. Unless that's like an Evo. It might be a 5-speed Evo. Who knows? Who will? Let's pound this seal out. We'll drive this one in. So I need what? Go. I'll have to replace that seal, but that's okay. What's the other downside? I'm not gonna. If you pull a seal out, replace it. Don't cut corners on those bits if you can avoid it. Bearings, I'm a little more forgiving depending on what kind of shape they're in. But when you get into like the rubber seals and stuff, two things will happen. I either need to take it completely apart and ruin it, or I don't take it apart and try and bake it and ruin it. Both of which are not good for you or for me. We got one grease zerk on the front of this to pop out. The bushing parts, again, bushing parts I don't mind. This is the factory coating on here, so. The other nice bit is this guy is a wrench, like he's working, this is probably a customer bike of his. Normally they're pretty good about bringing stuff in all disassembled and broken down. I'm guessing he was in a rush and running out the door to get it over to me so we could finish it up, because right now is the worst or the best season to be working on other people's bikes. Weather's getting warmer, still intermittent and not the greatest, but everybody wants their bikes ASAP at this point in time. So that's all I had to do today on this. Waiting on a snap ring for that guy. One more test ride. And that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna wind this one down here. I don't wanna keep on rambling. I got some stuff to empty out and clean up, but I can do that off camera, and that's not exciting for you guys to watch. So, quick little shop update on kind of where we're at with everything. Really, it's just another waiting on parts video, because that's all I feel like I'm ever doing. Oh well. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all those other fun things as we kind of get rolling here into the chopper season. We got a lot more stuff coming your way. Just kind of finalizing these two, and then I need to start going full speed ahead on this, and then probably about a month, the dually's got to get done. I got to get stickers made for the windows on there. I got a ton of other bits that need to happen. But I'm hesitant because I need to pull the bed off before I can do anything else. I'm not doing patch panels until I have the bed off, and then it's going to be like 2-day mad dash scramble to get that chopped up, ground, cut in, welded, cut in, and well, cut in and welded, or whatever the order is. I don't really know until that bed comes off. I still need to finish up the other side and then spot weld the bottom. Haven't done that yet. But I think this side will go faster, especially if I can get that bed off. I made more work for myself trying to rush last time, which is only going to bite me in the ass because now I got a lot more patch panel work to do once the bed is off. But bed will come off, whatever. Whole different project. But these things are all coming down the pipeline soon. And then the Falcon. I forgot about the Falcon. That's got to come home soon too at some point. I need a battery strap and to grab one of these batteries and go fire that up and bring it home. That'll be later this week. Work's been crazy. I have not had as much time as I would like, but there's your little shop update on all of the different projects and all of the stuff that will be coming down the pipeline in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. We'll catch you on the next one.